Let's get started. Dive right into what you're going to accomplish by the end of this video. Our main goal is to have you set up your tracking tags so you can generate niche-specific data in Facebook and use that for better audiences and better optimization. Pixel data will be your greatest business asset right next to your buyer's email list. And here's what you will accomplish by the end of this video. Step 1. Understand tracking tags and how to segment your store products with them. Step 2. How to create tracking tags in your store. Step 3. How to assign additional pixels to tracking tags. And remember, once you complete these steps, you will get an awesome reward in the reward section. We've made Trackify a fun place to accelerate your Facebook success. And to do that, we're going to put you through a journey to success. Enjoy, and I'll see you in the reward section. Let's spend a moment to think about how we would tag your products and what kind of tags might make sense. I made this little spreadsheet here for you to kind of give you some examples. So the first category, or the first example, list of examples of tags, possible tags that you could use would be tagging your products by interest. So for example, dog would be tagged like this, cat, horse, teacher, beer, jewelry, and so on and so on. So this is kind of our classic niche tracking, niche tagging, where you group products together by interest, by what people are interested in. Okay, that's pretty obvious. So that's interest. Now you could also tag, and at the same time tag your products by type. Okay, so here are some examples for that. And by the way, if your tag starts with pp underscore or with rrtrack underscore, doesn't make a difference. They're treated exactly the same, but there you have some different examples, and you might come up with a different meaning for your pp underscore and rrtrack underscore, like that. Okay, so let's go over to the next one. Maybe you have products that could benefit from tagging them by the color, right? So these are some examples for this. Maybe you have your products organized to where they actually make sense for certain age ranges or gender or family event status or something like that, right? I give you some examples here. So another example, another really good use for tracking tags is a functional use. In this case, we've created this tracking tag for products that are not supposed to be included in the catalogs. So I'm going to explain more detail on that purpose later. Another good example would be, for example, let's say bestsellers. I'm going to talk more about that later, and you don't need to figure out all of the tags to begin with. I just wanted to give you some ideas of how to think about the tags and how to segment your products in your store. The purpose here is to create extra data that is useful for segmenting audiences. Now, before we move on, let's take a quick look at the rules for the tracking tags. We recommend that you do not use blank spaces in area tags or special characters. That can lead to different problems with Facebook and with the different use functionalities of the tracking tags. And you need to start the tag either with this format rr underscore track underscore, or instead of using that, you can also start it with pp underscore. That's another option to start the tags. These tags are going to be used exactly the same way. So there's no functional difference between starting it with pp underscore or starting with rr underscore track underscore, but those are your two options. So let's go ahead and set up our tags in the store, and let's run an example of the tagging system that you could use. So in order to do this, you go over to your Shopify store and you go to All Products, and here are the products in this particular demo store. They're a rather hodgepodge combination of different things, and you might have more consistency in your store, hopefully. This will make it a little bit easier on your part to do what I'm about to show you. But let's just look across. So for example, this product right here is a piece of jewelry, and so is this jewelry box right over here. So what you could do here is just click these two products and then go to the bulk actions and go to add tags. And now you can just type a tag name here. Let's say we're using this formatting option, RR underscore track underscore, and then we can use whatever we want. So I'm going to put jewelry here. Notice I don't use a blank space in it like this. Not a good idea, because in some features on Facebook with the catalog feed where those tracking tags are used as well, you might run into functional issues when you do that. Also, try to avoid any kind of special characters, anything like that. Just limit yourself to letters, numbers, and dashes and underscores. So I kind of like to use underscores if I wanted to segment the tag like this. For jewelry box, I would do it like this, for example. But for this example right now, let's just keep it as this here, and this is going to then be applied to the two products that were checked. Okay, so good. So we got one tag set. Now let's see what else we can do. So here, these shirts here, they happen to all be kind of very similar, and even this flowy tank, they have something to do with drinking or beer. So for these, I'm going to do the same method here, use the same method of add tags, and I'm going to add a beer tag here. Now in this case, I'm just going to use the other formatting. Now I'm just doing it this way because to show you, I'm just doing it this way to show you that the first parts here, however you format that, is irrelevant, but you just have to use one of them. So I would encourage you, if you want to use multiple dimensions of tags to segment your products in different ways, you can use this and attribute a meaning to it, right? So you could use all tags that you use to segment one way and call them all PP, and all tags that you segment another way, you start them at R track. But there are different ways to do that. You can also just use all PP tags because they're shorter and easier to manage. So it's totally up to you. They're equivalent and are treated absolutely the same within Trackify in all aspects. Okay, so this is the beer. This is the beer niche. Now let's go to some other examples here. So for example, this here, kitty, and this flowy shirt actually also have something to do with cats. So we're going to do that the same way here. Add tags, and I'm going to go for the cat tag like this with the PP formatting. Okay, so we got that. Now let's just go for another type of tags. Let's just select all the mugs here, and let's tag them with mugs. With mug tags, all right, like that. And same way, add tags. So you get the gist of it, right? So we're gonna put PP mugs. All right. And you can go on and on. So you get the idea. I explained in the spreadsheet in step 1 to think about it in your store, how to best segment your products so that they result in good data that will allow you to segment your audiences and leverage that data better on Facebook, on the machine learning and artificial intelligence algorithms that are built into that. So now let's come back over to Trackify and see what happens, because all of these tags, as you're adding them here, when you refresh the page in Trackify, and we are on the tracking tags page right here, then what you find is that the tags that we've just added to the products have now been pulled into Trackify, And you can see them here, and they're showing you stats for view content, add to cart, and purchase events. These stats here are mainly used to give you an idea of when it's a good time to build lookalike audiences from the tag-based custom audiences. Okay, so here's a legend for this that explains that. So when these numbers turn red, that means you still have less than 100 events collected, and that means that's not a good time yet to build a lookalike audience. At a minimum of 100 people, that is a good number to start lookalike audiences. And once you get over 300 people on a custom audience that is built out of any of these events for the specific tag filter, then it becomes really good leverage building lookalike audiences. Couple of extra hints here. This switch, the include in feed switch, is by default set to yes, so everything is included. If you switch this off, that means that all products that have this tag that is not included in the feed are not going to be in the catalog. Now, this feature is not to build separate catalog segments. We do this automatically based on all the tags, but it's not used. You don't have to do this manually here. So wait for the catalog video to learn more details about that. But this switch here is to exclude certain products from the entire catalog. This is often used for coupon or extra shipping upsells that are listed as separate products in your store, but that generally shouldn't show up in dynamic product ads. So that's what that's for. Here are a couple of action buttons. The orange one resets the count for all the events in this tag, and the red one obviously deletes the tag. And you can use this filter box here to narrow down the list. If you have a really long list of tags, it might make it easier to find and manage the one that you want to access by just simply typing a piece of the tag name here, and then the whole list is going to be easier to manage. Once you have added the tracking tags to your store, you can now go over to the Facebook Pixels tab and assign individual pixels to each tracking tag. For example, here you just go to Edit. You have the same similar drop down as in the settings page, and the pixel is selected here, and the Facebook pixel name is automatically entered here. If you want to change that, you could. There's no real reason to do that, and then you click the green button here and it gets saved. Now this pixel will fire only for all products that have this tag attached to them, and it will fire for all events where a product with this tag is involved. So this is a very effective way to isolate certain products that are performing really well, or certain niches that are performing really well, onto a separate pixel that you can run in a separate ad account. This is a platinum feature, so you need to upgrade to platinum to have this feature accessible to it, and there's more training available in the rewards section. There are a couple of limitations to this. For example, you cannot assign a pixel that you have already used in your main settings or as your secondary backup pixel to another tag. Then you get this alert here. It says the niche pixel cannot be the same as the main or second pixel. Please use a different ID, and then it doesn't go through. Okay, and that makes sense, right? Because what you want to do here is isolate tracking data, isolate pixel events on a specific pixel that are fired by a certain products that are attached to this tag. You can, however, assign the same pixel ID to multiple tags. That's fine. That works well. Okay, that works. While we're at it, let's actually take a quick look at one of the mugs in the store so you can see how this works now. So let's just go to this product, for example. We attached the mug tracking tag to all of the products that have mugs. And so if we go to the product page, so this here is the pixel ID that we've assigned to the pp_mug tag. So currently we have only one pixel in the main setting. There's no pixel in the secondary backup slot that fires for all products, and this pixel here fires only for mugs. So let's counterproof that. Just go to a non-mark product here real quick. Check Facebook Pixel Helper, and you can see only the main pixel fires here, not the additional niche pixel that we assign to the mark tracking tags.